What's up guys, it's the weekend and we have our question. Is Redwing worth your spotlight keys? Now I'm just going to be very upfront, I'm just going to be very swift and deadly with my response. The answer is no. Redwing is definitely not worth it. Alright, Redwing is a shitty card, very shitty card. I was wrong in my review. Redwing is absolutely trash. And it pains me because as you can see I used 4 keys, okay, but I didn't have Baron Zemo, so alright. I mean Zemo is a unique card. It's a very unique card. He runs a unique archetype, so yep. Loki was dropped to a series 4 in the news that's released. So this week's entire, when I was doing my review, I was saying that, I have high hopes for Loki, but given that they dropped him to series 4, I don't think they're going to buff him. I don't think they're going to rework him. I don't think there's a priority on him. So Loki wouldn't be a reason as to why you'll be opening for this week, right? So yeah, unless you have a lot of keys, unless you really want Baron Zemo, this week is an easy skip. Now, but for those who have gotten Redwing, you still need to clear your weekend missions. I have already cleared my weekend missions, right? But basically you need to win with Redwing, and the other weekend mission was to move cards. Now, so let's talk about Redwing move first, which is the deck that I experimented with first and foremost. It is very natural since Redwing's ability is triggered when you move Redwing. So this is the basic move deck that I've used. Okay, if you have a runner, it's definitely better than Iron Fist or Ghost Spider. If you do not like Spider-Man 2099, you can go with something else that moves, alright, or something else that combines. Okay, like for example, you want to play Hulkbuster into Human Torch, it's up to you. As for Magneto, you could just throw in a big body if you want. You can throw in a Red Hawk, Goliath. It's up to you, right? It's entirely up to you. Now, I feel honestly when in my review video, I said that I don't think this move deck is going to be worse than any moves deck, but it has proven to me to be situational. It has proven to me to be a very situational thing. Okay, sometimes if you pull something like Dagger, Cloak, Vulture, or even Human Torch, it is good. It does work. Okay. But sometimes it pulls things like Iron Fist, Ghost Spider, and it doesn't really has an impact. Now, but I want to raise two things, which is some people are playing Redwing wrong in that sense, in a sense, okay, which is why Redwing seems so underwhelming. Now, there are two scenarios that I want to point out to help everyone play Redwing better. Now, the first thing is you have to play Redwing out. Sorry about that. You want to play Redwing out early in a Redwing move deck, because when you play him out early, you are able to see what you are drawing, and if you pull out something like Dagger, Vulture, or even let's say Human Torch, it is pretty impactful. Okay, so let's say we go with the lowest, which should be Human Torch. Now let's say you move the Human Torch once, it becomes a 1/4. Right? Let's say you get a Heimdall on the last turn, your Human Torch becomes a 1/4, and potentially it might move into a Kraven lane, so it could be a 1/6 in value. So 1/6 you add to Redwing 3/4. Alright, you play Redwing for 310 impact. So that's pretty cool. 310 is, well, basically fantastic stats. Okay, if you want to play Redwing early, because potentially you could pull a Spider-Man 2099 as well. Okay, and if you pull a Spider-Man 2099, it's fantastic value, because, well, you get a destroy effect again. You get a destroy effect if you Heimdall, and you also get additional 9 power. Let's say you pull an early Magneto, you will be able to mess up their board placements and things like that. So the thing is, a lot of people are playing Redwing on the are moving Redwing only on the final turn, which is actually which doesn't really make as much impact if you were to ask me. Now the second thing is, a lot of people are playing Redwing. I see a lot of people doing something like they play Redwing on the right and then they Heimdall on the right. Now in a move deck, as you can see, our base power are typically low, other than maybe Spider-Man 2099 and the big banger card that you're gonna put. So it becomes very awkward. So let's say if you play something like Redwing on the right and then you Heimdall on the right, okay, you move everything away, so Redwing pulls something to help Heimdall. So what you have on the right lane is you have Heimdall 10 plus whatever Redwing pulls. So what happens if Redwing pulls something like Iron Fist or a Human Torch? Okay, so you have 12 power in that lane, and that may not be sufficient to challenge, which means you wasted your Heimdall playing that. What we want to do is to actually play something like Redwing in the mid, okay, and then you move Redwing away, but when you Heimdall, you are moving things into Redwing's original lane as well, and then you pull something from your hand to that lane, so that lane is, you know, is putting up good power. So something a more preferable Redwing play would be something like, you know, you play Redwing in the mid, you have some stuff on the right, you play Heimdall on the mid, okay, you move your mid things along with Redwing to the left, you move whatever you had on the right into middle where you have Heimdall, and you're going to pull something else as well. Okay, that is if, you know, you're unable to move Redwing early. But typically I would say that if you are not able to move Redwing early, it's really a coin toss. It's really a coin toss as to what's going to happen on the final turn. So this is Redwing move. It is in my release video, I say that I don't think Redwing move is going to be worse than any move decks, but like what I said, you have to move him early. You have to move Redwing early for that statement to be true. Okay. When you move it early, it can really be very impactful. Okay, because for example, you pull Vulture, right? 3/3, you pull a free 3/3 Vulture. That means Redwing is already 3/7 in terms of power. You move your Vulture once, it's 3/9. So that means Redwing's value is 3/13. Is that good? I think that would be. Okay, so the only issue is you have to move Redwing early. So otherwise, it's pretty, you know, difficult. Now, most people are playing Redwing in a Redwing dump deck, so Dracula dump deck, our traditional Dracula dump style. Okay, whereby, you know, you want to play things out and then, you know, you have big cards dropping into Dracula. This deck, if you were to ask me, I think it's not as good as our traditional Dracula dump. The reason is very simple. You're spending a lot of time ensuring that you're spending a lot of you have cards that help to move. Okay, sorry. You have cards that move Redwing, your Ghost Spider, your Iron Fist, Madam Web, Heimdall. But you can remove all the traditional. That means you're you know, to enable Redwing to move, to pull that one card down, you're sacrificing some other powers. In our traditional Dracula dump decks, you know, you wouldn't be playing this card, you'll be playing other cards that provide beefy power that will be, you know, helping you to add more board presence, add more power on the board, as opposed to, you know, trying to move Redwing. Okay, and you know, just to move Redwing, you are giving up power, you are giving up what you were previously doing, which is actually a downgrade if you were to ask me. Alright, and if you don't draw Black Swan, Redwing could be pulling. If you don't manage to activate Black Swan, your Redwing could be pulling some small things as well. So yeah, it's not a good trade-off if you were to ask me. It's really not a good trade-off if you were to ask me. Alright, previously you could be playing things like Goose to control their control what cards they can play down. Okay, you have Ant-Man, and then when you dump things over, you have a very strong 1/5. Okay, but right now you are playing things like Ghost Spider, Iron Fist. Okay, yeah, I really don't think that it's it is better than our previous Dracula dumping. Okay, and previously you could be playing things like Zero. Okay, and then it could help to trigger your destroyer. I mean, it could help you to play a destroyer. You could have things like Blade, which is a 1/3 better than Ghost Spider 1/2, Iron Fist 1/2, Man and Web 2/1. Okay, you could be playing Blade that could help you to, you know, discard the small things so that eventually the huge thing drops into Dracula. You could be playing Rocket Raccoon, which is a 1/5. You could be playing Nebula that, you know, it's not very good in this meta right now, but could still be a 1/3, still better than Iron Fist, Ghost Spider. Okay, and yeah, it's just so much better. And in terms of Redwing being a 3/4, Strong Guy, I think Strong Guy is much better. If you manage to dump everything, Strong Guy is a 3/9, which is a 5 power over Redwing. Okay, so of course you can argue that if Redwing pulls something big, Red Hawk, Giganto, it's better, but it's just a preference of what you prefer, consistency against a potential big payoff. Okay, because with a Strong Guy, typically with Strong Guy and the traditional dump deck, you have a 3/9, you have a assured 3/9. But right now you have, I don't know, you could potentially be pulling something real big. Redwing could be pulling an Infinaut, alright, and obviously that's better. But Redwing could be pulling something like Black Swan, Madam Web, you know, and then it kind of stings. And if you didn't manage to activate your Black Swan, you could be pulling something like, you know, Iron Fist, which, well, stings. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't think Redwing makes the dump deck better. In fact, I think it makes it a little bit less consistent, although there's a potential for higher payoff. So it's a preference kind of thing. Well, to sum it up, Redwing absolutely blows. It absolutely blows. The two current decks that Redwing is in, Redwing dump, I don't think it makes the archetype better. I don't think it makes the deck better. Redwing move is the same thing as Redwing dump. Basically, if you manage to get Redwing out early, if you manage to move Redwing early and you pull something like Spider-Man 2099, you pull Vulture, it's great. Or if you pull Magneto, obviously it's great. But if you don't manage to do so, it actually becomes very situational in that sense. It actually becomes very awkward. It actually becomes very tough to play. So in both decks that Redwing currently features in, there is a potential for higher payoff, but it is not as consistent. So it really depends. Does Redwing make the decks better? The answer is it really depends on how you look at things. If you prefer to lose a little bit on the consistency count, but you know, potentially get a bigger payoff, then yes, you could say that Redwing makes the deck better. But for myself, I honestly think that even if you want to go that way, you don't mind gambling a little bit for much bigger payoff, I don't think the payoff is significantly better. I don't think the payoff is always significantly better. So in conclusion, I don't think Redwing is good. I don't think you should be getting Redwing, especially when the Spotlight week is pretty shit here. Honestly, I don't think they're interested to make Loki great again. So yeah, you have Redwing, a subpar card. You have Loki, a card that is going to be forgotten. And yeah, the only sparkling point about this spotlight week would be Baron Zemo, but well, unless you think Baron Zemo is worth 4 keys, I don't really think Baron Zemo is worth 4 keys. I mean, I love the male archetype, I love what Baron Zemo can do, but I don't think Baron Zemo alone is worth 4 keys in that sense, right? So if you're opening for this week, you gotta be really loving Baron Zemo. Alright guys, have a good weekend, happy snapping.